2, 3.
Good.
Well, hello class. We're here in New York City today, and it's my honor to be with Professor Brian Alnutt and a group of students from Northampton Community College. And we're here at the site of Grant's tomb, Ulysses S. Grant. And Professor Alnutt was just telling us a little bit about Grant that might be relevant to what we're talking about in class.
Okay, U.S. Grant, famous Civil War general, but he didn't start out that way. He'd been in the Army during the Mexican War, like so many of his other Civil War commanders, North and South, had mustered out of the service, had been a repeatedly failed businessman, rejoined the military when the Civil War broke out, and rose just by his skills through fighting in the western frontier, Tennessee, fighting across Tennessee, Vicksburg, and then eventually rose to success on the eastern front, sent over there by Lincoln to face the famous General Lee. Battles such as in the eastern front, the Wilderness, Spotsylvania, Petersburg, battling Lee down at Petersburg, hitting the trenches of Petersburg, and finally taking Lee's surrender at Appomattox Courthouse in 1865. Grant was Federal one just by sheer aggressiveness, attacking the Confederates, not retreating, not losing his nerve like other commanders did, but just attacking full on. Famous comment, Shiloh, Battle of Shiloh, he had a bad day, pushed back by the Confederates. He was in his tent, another general came and said, well, we had a heck of a day. And he said, yep, we'll beat him tomorrow though. And he did, yeah, so he had that attitude. And, favored the use of black soldiers in the Civil War, favored their use on the battlefront. And, when the war was over, remained in the military for a while. In 1868, elected U.S. president and served 2 terms. And during his presidency, Reconstruction was still boiling away in the South. He was more sympathetic as a Republican to the cause of reforming the South than his predecessor was. Andrew Johnson, famous former Democrat, famous promoter of the white South, disinterested in the black South. Grant was interested in the black South. Not a radical Republican, but supportive of the black cause. Did send troops to the South to put down the KKK when it got out of hand, and actually the KKK ceased to exist after those troops were sent. However, that was not the only militia in the South. Many more numerous white militias attacked blacks throughout the South during Reconstruction, and Grant was reluctant to send many more soldiers to there because the nation as a whole, the North, was tiring of Reconstruction. Mississippi at one point was under siege by Democratic Party militias attacking blacks and attacking Republicans, and the Republican governor of Mississippi asked Grant for help. U.S. Army, and Grant refused to send troops. And Mississippi became a white democratic state through just sheer violence. And that politician went to Washington later on and asked Grant, why didn't you send the troops, I asked you? And Grant said, I thought about it, but if we sent soldiers to keep Mississippi Republican, we would have lost Ohio this fall to the Democrats, because Democratic voters, white voters in Ohio, didn't support the use of heavy black soldiers in the South. So Grant did not act aggressively in that case. Plagued by accusations of corruption later in his administration, and not personally corrupt. And I think he's here.